As a manager of a team, having an effective strategy to continually improve the performance of any team that you manage in any company situation is only going to be a good thing for you, your standing, your confidence, your bank balance, and your career prospects. A proven people strategy that you should consider consistently using to improve team performance is what I call Enhance's worst team member strategy. You can use this strategy every single day, year after year, with the same team, and it remains very effective. You can tell your team exactly what you're doing and why, and Enhance's worst team member strategy remains just as effective. And yes, I've done exactly this. The key outcomes of any good, effective worst team member strategy should be: firstly, the trust of the team in you increases. Secondly, the psychological safety across the team increases. Third, the performance and behaviour of the worst team members increase. Fourth, the performance and behaviour of everyone else in the team increases, even though you're only working with your worst team member. And fifth, the performance of the team increases by significantly more than one person's contribution. To get all 5 of these outcomes consistently, year after year, you must avoid using fear tactics. You cannot demand improvement and threaten to fire an individual if they don't improve. You can't make your worst team member's life more difficult or less enjoyable in revenge for them not improving. To get lasting improvement, you need them to want to improve. You can't force them to improve if you want that improvement to last. At all times, you need to be reasonable and fair in the eyes of your other team members. Fairness is essential to maintain and build trust. As a manager, you want to get all 5 benefits I've just described. This is a big part of your pathway to standing out as a manager and getting significant team performance improvement. I've taken over the worst team and in 6 to 12 months transformed that team into one of the best in the business. I've done this multiple times with different teams in different companies. Being awarded best team prizes with these teams demonstrates where the team got to. These teams, each delivering millions of pounds in additional profit and cash for the businesses, also clearly demonstrates the improvement created. Leadership team members and senior managers going from talking down about the team, talking about the problems they cause, making jokes about them, and around 6 months later, these leadership attitudes had completely changed. They were singing the team's praises, relying on the team's output, complimenting them, turning up to team meetings to talk directly to the team, and giving them prizes says enough about their change in perceptions. The critical part about these transformations: the team members I had after 12 months were largely the same team members present at the very start. Very few had changed. I was able to transform performance quickly in these teams because of Enhance's worst team member strategy that I used for each of these teams. I got each of the 5 key benefits I talked about earlier. Of course, this wasn't the only action I took. The worst team member strategy I used was a critical strategy, which if I had not used would have resulted in much less impressive transformations of team performance. To effectively and quickly transform team performance, you must improve your worst team members. You don't have a choice as a manager. Your worst team member stops the rest of the team improving. Just think about it. You, the manager, are trying to raise standards, improve skills, and get your team motoring. All your team members are looking at the worst team member. They are thinking the manager is talking about improvement, yet not doing anything about our worst team member. Why should I put in the effort to get better when the manager is not doing anything about the worst team member? I will end up working harder and not getting paid any more than our worst team member. How is that fair? I'm sure you get the picture. The work you do to improve your worst team member is a massive advert about your seriousness on improving standards. This advert shouts your improvement message to the rest of the team every single day. Your work to improve your worst team member's standards removes worries about unfairness. Your work with the worst team member unblocks the rest of the team's efforts and motivation. To improve your worst team member, you have two key options. Either you remove your worst team member and replace them with someone who is hopefully better, more skilled, more motivated, more energetic, etc. Or you visibly work to improve the team members you have. Only if they don't improve or can't improve do you replace them. The basic strategy is assess, improve, and remove in that order. This approach is what most managers try to do. Plenty of managers only put a token effort into the assess and improve stages and arrive at remove too quickly. Many more managers try to do a good job at the assess and improve stages, but a lack of knowledge and big holes in the process or system they use means they don't get improvement, or the improvement they do get is fleeting. The real magic in Enhance's worst team member strategy is in the next layer of detail down. Getting improvement depends largely on the steps you take through the assess and improvement stages. Up to 85% of worst team members should exit these stages with improvement up to or ahead of the average of the team. If substantially less than 85% of worst team members are showing significant improvement, or you seem to have many of those employees not improving or falling back into old habits or old standards, you need to change what you're doing and take a different, more effective set of actions. If it is helpful to you, what follows is a bit more about Enhance's worst team member strategy. This is a strategy I always use. I create the best incentives for all team members to improve that I can. This sets the stage to get improvement across the team. Then I target the worst team member with additional actions. Firstly, I work with them to understand and assess why they are the worst team member. I want to find out what is holding them back. What are they struggling with that stops them performing at a higher level? I want to be shown what they're doing, not told by them what they're doing. Secondly, I work hard to improve my worst team members. I focus on creating conditions that result in them wanting to improve. I use persuasion, social rules, human group rules, and reciprocity combined with a significant personal help to overcome the barriers identified in the assess stage. At no point do I let them off the hook for improvement. My message to them is, I'm going to work hard to help you improve. I'm giving you this great opportunity on a platter. In exchange, I need you to work hard to improve. If you can't or don't improve, then you'll have to leave the team. I focus a lot more on communicating the carrots or benefits. I mention but don't focus on the sticks or consequences. I work hard at communicating clearly the options the worst employee has. It is their choice. I'm only laying out their options and describing the playing field they're on. They choose what they want to do next. The point of taking this approach is that it is as fair as possible. I'm offering a lot. I want a fair bit in exchange. I'm giving first and I'm taking second. I give slightly more than I take. This keeps improvement the best option for the team member. The options you provide have to be a two-way street. It can't be only give or only take. A balanced approach is fair on me, fair on them, and fair on the rest of the team and the business. The rest of the team can clearly see the work that I put into improving that individual. I may not talk about the work with them, but they can see all the meetings we both attend. They hear comments from the worst employee. They can see the improvement as a result from the worst employee. If you want more detail about what goes into the stage, I have 9 key components to the work that I do to get improvement from team members. None of them is focused on fear, threats, or negative outcomes. I only remove an individual from the team if they're not willing to work to improve. Again, this is the worst employee's choice. If there is a more suitable job for their skills and approach, and they have the will and motivation to do a good job, I will try hard to get them transferred into that job rather than remove them. I don't pass on problems to other managers and teams within the business. That would not be fair on them, and passing on problems often comes back to bite you. The rest of the team see me taking action to drive improvement. They know I'm working hard to help. They can see the balance, the fairness of the actions. Their trust of me and their feelings of safety are protected as a result, even if the worst team member leaves. My track record using these 9 key components for the improve stage is around 85% of individuals improve to meet or beat the average of the team. This outcome is several multiples better than most managers achieve, based on my experience of working with over 100 worst team members. I always have a worst team member in my team. You do too. To consistently improve team performance year after year, apply a proven, effective worst team member strategy. The best strategies and actions you can use result in, firstly, the trust of the team in you increases. Secondly, the psychological safety across the team increases. Third, the performance and behaviour of the worst team members increase. Fourth, the performance and behaviour of everyone else in the team increases, even though you only work with the worst team member. And fifth, the performance of the team increases by significantly more than one person's contribution. Each of these outcomes should be strong, noticeable, and measurable. If you want to borrow Enhance's worst team member strategy with its 9 core components and predictable team outcomes, please click on the button below this video to get your copy. A proven and effective worst team member strategy can be used again and again to continually improve the performance of your team. Consistently increase team performance without needing to replace team members will certainly make you stand out as a manager and will give you a ton of personal benefits. Click on the button below to get your copy of Enhance's worst team member strategy to use with your team.